Ooh. What's up, everybody? This is Dave here with BrickWall Reviews. And as you guys already know, it is our BrickWall Horror Month. Yes, it's the month of October, and that means we're going to be reviewing horror films all month long. Last week, well, not last week, but a few weeks back, I did a review on the Fear Street series, 1994, 86, and 60 and 66. I don't know. Go check it out, though. It's the whole trilogy I did. Those films are now available to watch on Netflix. I did a really short mini review of those, so make sure you guys go check that out. And tonight, I'm going to be talking about the latest Candyman movie. Yes, Candyman from this year, 2021, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Tiana Paris, and a whole bunch of other people. But before I get into that, I remind you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Keep viewing, keep liking, keep sharing to your friends. Currently, I'm not able to get into my Facebook account through my phone as I usually do. So if you're coming here from my Facebook audience, thank you for all your support. It really means a lot. But if you're not notified through the Facebook group that we have, just know that we're going to be trying to figure out how to update that and post this review here. So yeah, I've just been having trouble getting that, which is why this video wasn't promoted, which is why I'm so late, and which is why we're a day late. And Sam has a night off, as you can see. It's a holiday, but I'm here on holidays. I'm here all the time whenever I can get here. Check out her anime review. She just did one not too long ago recently, so make sure you guys check that out. On To Your Eternity, the second half of that anime. And yeah, that's about it. I think that's all the announcements. Those are all the announcements I have for the spooky month. No, we have not decorated yet, but for those of you who are new to the channel, usually we have some decorations up here. We ain't got them up yet, but trust me, we got something coming for y'all. So make sure you guys stay tuned to all this brick wall horror for this month. So, like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about the Candyman, 2021 version of the Candyman, which, interestingly enough, serves as a direct sequel to the original Candyman. I'm not going to get into spoilers here because I know some people still haven't seen it. It was a theater exclusive. We rented it and watched it here. We rented it off Amazon, watched it. But it's not like a day and date release like a lot of movies that came out this year. You do have to go exclusively to the theater or rent it on whatever streaming service you can rent it on. It is available now for those things. I've only watched it one time, and if Sam was here tonight, she's watched it twice, more than I have, so she would have more to say about it than I would. But like I said, holiday, we all got the night off, and we would have done this last night, but like I said, couldn't get into my Facebook to promote it. So, but tonight I was like, I just want to get this out the way because I have a lot of other horror movies that I want to get to for this month. I have some really cool ones I want to talk about, especially next week. Next week. I'm ready for next week because I got that one planned. I've been waiting to watch this movie just for this occasion. And I'm so happy we're finally here. So, all that said, I'm done talking big talk. Let's get into this. So this here Candyman, it is about an art dealer. Not an art dealer. He's like an artist. He's played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen, like I said, and he's looking for his next big piece. His next piece to really put him, in the spotlight in this big view, so everyone can appreciate his work because he had only one really good piece. So he decides to go and do it on the place where the Candyman was from, which I'm getting all my information, guys. Hold up. He's doing it on the where is it? Cabrini Green. Yes, that's what it is. I look at my notes all the time. Don't judge me. This is live, okay? Live. I don't got fancy editors like some of you guys do. No, I'm kidding. I love all y'all. Shout out to every YouTuber out there. So anyway, he decides that he's going to do his art piece on the Cabrini Green housing projects, specifically the Legend of the Candyman, which he hears from a gentleman who stays in that Cabrini Green area. So as he gets deeper and deeper and more engrossed into this art project, he starts to learn more about the legend of Candyman, and it starts to take some effects on him. The Candyman reappears into the world and starts his murdering of other people. And for those of you who've seen the original Candyman, I haven't. If I have, I don't remember it. But I have seen a lot of reviews and takes on it. I watched like a little, for lack of a better term, I watched the Spark Notes version of it. So I got like the basic premise of it, which is there's a white lady, and they even kind of go over it in this movie too. They kind of tell you what, kind of give you the beats of the original movie. You know, you have the white lady who goes into the Cabrini Green places, and she starts to also investigate the legend of the Candyman, and the Candyman starts coming out, and he goes and starts killing people. She gets framed for it, and there's a portion of the movie that I don't want to spoil because it ties directly into this movie. But if you haven't seen the original Candyman, definitely watch that. If you can, watch it first and then watch this Candyman here, and you will have a very pleasant viewing experience back to back. So, like I said, this guy, he the art dealer played by Yahya I should get his character's name because Yahya Abdul-Mateen's name is a lot to say sometimes, and his name's Anthony McCoy. So Anthony McCoy, he gets like I said, he starts getting engrossed in the project. Of course, when he makes his project, at first is not really received very well. People are like, "Oh, what is this? This is dumb. This is whack. This is stupid," or it doesn't make any sense. I'm not interested in it. But of course, once a murder happens around his painting and where his painting was at, or not just painting, his work of art. Once a murder happens around where his work of art was, then people start to get interested in it. They say, "Oh, wow, check this out. This is cool. So can you tell me more? I'm going to bring you on to do this. I'm going to bring you on to do that. I want you to be a part of this." But really, the art people just want him so they can say like, "Oh, I worked with the guy whose art was involved in the murder." So it's kind of like a shady little thing that's going on there. Even his girlfriend, played by Tiana Paris, she kind of gets roped into that side of things. She starts getting more opportunities, but every time she gets this opportunity for advancement, especially one in particular that she really wanted, she goes for it. She works with an artist that she really always admired and looked up to. And the first thing that this artist does is just keeps questioning her about the art that Anthony did and the murders that surrounded it. And that's all she wants to talk about. And the girlfriend's just like, "Well, I'm not here to talk about that. Like, I want to talk about some innovative things that I have going on in art." So that's kind of like the central piece of the movie. That's like the central stories of the movie is these artists just trying to make it, but they pretty much get their lives pretty much get overtaken by the Candyman and his murders. So the movie kind of starts on a flashback with dang, it's so hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it. Because I don't want to spoil it. So I'm trying to think of which areas I think can be spoiled. So the gentleman who tells Anthony about the Candyman legend, ooh, that's a good spoiler too, though. Okay, so I'm going to try to talk about this without spoilers. So this movie, it has a lot of different elements into it. Is it okay? Scratch that. I'm gonna do things a little different than I usually do here. So bear with me. I'm gonna start by answering the question: is this a scary movie? In my opinion, not really. We all know the legend of the Candyman, just ourselves. It's a pop culture thing. If you say his name 5 times into the mirror, he appears and you get killed or someone else gets killed or whatever the case may be. They do play on this legend in the movie, like, that does happen. There's a scene where there's a group of girls in the bathroom. They just learned about the Candyman legend because of Anthony's art. And so they go into the bathroom and they look in the mirror and they say the name 5 times. And of course, they start to punk out a little bit, just like most of us would do if we were taxed with that challenge. But they go through with it, and then boom, Candyman's out here killing. Other people do that as well. There's other characters in here, some very central characters who say the Candyman name 5 times into a mirror. They're the first murders of the movie. So it's really I wouldn't say it's scary, so to speak, but it does have a little bit of suspense into it. Not having seen the original Candyman movie, but knowing the staple it holds in the horror world, I hope I said that sentence the right way. Um, but yeah, knowing how important it is to horror and the impact that it had and it still has on our culture as people who love horror and people who love urban legends. Uh, I forgot where I was going with this. Um, dang, oh, that's what happens when you lose your train of thought when you do these things live. Um, yeah, no, knowing what the original, I remember now, knowing what the original Candyman meant to horror and meant to pop culture and meant to urban legends. This one here, it pretty much kind of modernizes it, but it does something. Like I said, it's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it, but having it connect to the first one the way that it did and expand upon that lore and give us even a little bit more lore to think about with this Candyman. Essentially, and this isn't really a spoiler, but essentially, this movie gives us the angle that okay, Candyman isn't just one guy who was caught sleeping with a white woman, one black guy who was caught sleeping with a white woman, got killed, hand cut off, and is out for revenge as a ghost, essentially speaking. Um, it's more than one person. It's every person of color who was wrongfully killed, wrongfully accused of something, and they want that payback. And the way to get that payback, they embody the spirit of the Candyman, right? It kind of the movie, and you'll see it when you watch the movie. You'll see what I mean when I say that, and it's probably said a little bit more eloquently than I'm saying it right now in the film. They even do these cool things with like little shadow puppets and everything, where they kind of go through the story and even through the credits. The credits are so fun to watch, and that sounds like a weird statement, right? The credits are fun to watch, but the credits give you the story from the first Candyman all the way up to what you just watched. And it does it with like these little shadow puppets. It's really cool. I had a blast watching. Like that's the first time I actually watched the credits. Now, listen to it. Listen to what I said. First time I've actually watched the credits. You know how sometimes in credits they have bloopers and you watch the bloopers in the credits, and other times like you're just sitting there through the credits to get to a post-credit scene. No, I watched the credit. Like I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the things that are going on. Yeah, I caught some names in the credits too, but I had an enjoyment watching the credits. You know what I'm saying? Like without there being a blooper reel, or without there being a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene, these credits were enjoyable because they told a story within that, and they used this space here to tell it. And I thought that was really cool. There are appearances from the original, so from some original characters from the original Candyman movie. Not going to spoil those either, but those are some very interesting inclusions, and what they do with those characters and how they add to the lore of this here movie here is really incredible. I thought it was great. Again, someone who hasn't seen the original Candyman movie, I can say that those were really, really fun cameos they had there. So now that I've kind of talked as much as I could about this movie and whether or not it was scary. The gore. Is it gory? Of course it's gory. Come on, Candyman, this guy with a hook for a hand. Of course, the kills are awesome in this though. I usually, and it sounds a little bit crazy, but usually when it's a really good kill, I laugh. I either laugh or I scream. And I think the laughing and the screaming, both of those are compliments, because you gotta admit some kills in some of these horror movies and things like that are kind of funny, and there are some that are pretty funny in this film. But that's not to say that they aren't inventive, because they are very inventive, and they are still very suspenseful. Like I said, it's still very suspenseful. This is a movie more suspenseful for me than scary. I was never, ever, 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 ever saying Candyman 5 times in the mirror. I don't care who paying me. I don't care what's going on. I'm not putting my life at risk like that. Come on now. I can't do that. But, I mean, so it was still a suspenseful movie. It was fun. It's not something I will. Before I say that, there are some things that kind of frighten me a little bit, but they're like unconventional things. Like it's like a personal thing. Like I think tied to like some type of anxiety I have or whatever. But and those are things like some of the shadow puppetry that they use throughout the movie kind of freaked me out a little bit. But again, that's a personal thing. Um, what's something else? But I already went over the gore factors. It was a really good gory movie. If you're in that type of stuff, if you're not, you might get a little squeamish. But hey, come on, we watch horror movies to get squeamish and scared. Like, what's the fun if we don't do that, right? So I'm gonna get into some behind the scenes information about this movie. So this movie was made on a $25 million budget, and thus far to date has made $76.3 million. For those of you who don't know, when this movie first came out, it set the record. It set a record for the highest opening weekend for a movie directed by a black woman. I believe I have that statistic correct. I'm double checking. I cannot. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that information. But in the meantime, this movie was directed by Nia DaCosta. I'm not quite sure what other films she has directed. I'm looking at her right now. She wrote and directed a crime thriller called Little Woods, which won over the Tribeca Film Festival. And her next film is going to be The Marvels, which is a Marvel movie with Captain Marvel and all that stuff. This was produced by Jordan Peele and his production company. And he handpicked her to direct this movie too, as far as I'm understand. So that's really great. I'm really trying to fact check what I just said because I think that's an important. I think that is an important piece of information. So bear with me. Yes, here we go. Nia DaCosta became the first black female director to have a film finish #1 at the box office. So this is a record-setting moment. Her movie is the first movie ever directed by a black female, that is, to finish #1 at the box office. This was #1 at the box office for a while. So congrats, big ups to Nia DaCosta. Right on, my sister. That was crazy, right? This movie has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Really good. Like a lot of it's been received very, very well. I can definitely see that. Like I said, it's a nice film. Some of the things I didn't like about it though, it kind of felt like a little slow in some parts. Which is typical for a horror movie, right? Like it has its parts where it feels a little slow sometimes. But I mean, outside of that, taking the typical slowness out of it, what I didn't like about it, I'm not really artsy. So some of the art stuff, I was like, okay, that's cool. Outside of those two, I could say that I don't really like how Anthony's turn into what he does turn into. Or I would say Anthony's arc in this story, I could say I don't like it, but I would kind of be not. I wouldn't really be being honest if I said that. I wouldn't really be being honest if I said that. That's a correct sentence. Okay. So yeah, overall though, in terms of a horror movie, in terms of things that I would enjoy to watch, that I would like to watch during the Halloween season, I would put this one. I'll put this one on the list. I would add this one. I am very anxious to watch this again. Like I said, I rented it, but this is something I would love to watch again, just to see if I can pick up on certain hints that lead to the reveal in the movie. And not just that, but just for the performances. It's a very down-to-earth film. The performances are very believable. These are ways we will react, obviously, and Jordan Peele has a really good knack for that. I mean, I know he's just produced this, but again, like for him to pretty much handpick Nia DaCosta for this film, and for her to have those same sensibilities to say, oh, well, we need to make this more grounded in reality. How will people actually react in these situations? I think that is something that's masterfully done in this film. Again, great film, Candyman 2021. I highly recommend it. What is my view? What is my rating rather? My rating on this is I will give it a. I'm gonna say something different now. Hold on, bear with me, guys. Since it's Halloween month, and I'm gonna consult with Sam about this too. But since it's Halloween month, I'm gonna give this movie 4 out of 5 screens. Yes, screens. I'm gonna come up with something better than that though. Something brick related. We don't have anything brick related for our regular scoring system though. So why we have it for? You just caught me on a tangent, guys. But anyway, that's it. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Let's just keep it simple, right? Give it 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. I mean, maybe I'll skate on a little, like on a 3.7 maybe, but I'll give it a 4 because I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a good film. Something I would definitely go back to, and it's a good horror movie to watch during this Halloween month. So, with that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'm going to try to get back up on my regular socials soon as I can figure out what's going on. I don't know. Facebook had to shut down, hack, or whatever the case may be. So maybe I got kicked off. Who knows? But until then, guys, stay tuned to our Twitter and our Instagram. I'm posting soon, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And join us here next week for our review of another horror movie. Should I say what it is? I probably should say what it is, right? All right, I'll say what it is. It's A Quiet Place Part 2. That's right, Quiet Place Part 2 next week. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys tune in. And until next time, thank you all. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and keep watching these reviews. And if you have any suggestions for reviews, drop them down in the comment section below, and I will make sure that we do our best to check out those reviews. Until next time, this is Dave. Happy Halloween, BrickWall Horror.